Permission to be Powerful is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber. Dear Permission to be Powerful reader, most people don't realize it, but they're carrying an invisible weight. A burden so heavy, yet so ingrained in their daily life that they barely notice it. It affects how they talk, how they dress, the decisions they make, the risks they take. It creeps into their relationships, their career, their confidence. And worst of all, they never chose to carry it. It was placed on their shoulders the moment they were old enough to understand the word should. You should be more responsible. You should work harder. You should settle down. You should be realistic. They hear it from parents, teachers, friends, colleagues, social media, until, eventually, they stop hearing it from others, because the voice moves inside their head. And suddenly, they're living a life not for themselves, but for the approval of others. It happens so subtly, so naturally, that most people never question it. They seek validation without realizing it. They hesitate before making choices, wondering what others will think. They sacrifice their desires, their dreams, their authenticity, just to avoid judgment. And here's the worst part. It's never enough. No matter how hard they try to fit the mold, no matter how much they conform, someone, somewhere, will always disapprove. It's a game that can never be won. But what if you stopped playing? What if you could wake up tomorrow, free from the weight of others' opinions? Free to make choices without second-guessing yourself. Free to pursue your own desires, without guilt, without hesitation. Free to live life on your own terms. It sounds impossible. But the truth is, it's entirely within your control. And the moment you realize this, everything changes. The liberation no one talks about. There's a reason most people stay trapped in the cycle of seeking approval. Because society is built to keep you in line. From a young age, we're taught that approval equals belonging. That fitting in is the key to safety, to love, to success. So we comply. We conform. We shrink ourselves to fit expectations. But in doing so, we trade our freedom for acceptance. And most people will never escape that trade-off. Unless they learn the truth. The truth about why we crave approval. The truth about how it silently shapes our lives. The truth about what happens when we finally break free. And that's exactly what you're about to discover. To understand why it's so hard to break free from others' opinions, you have to go back, way back. Because this isn't just a modern problem, it's a human problem. Our ancestors didn't survive because they were the strongest or the smartest. They survived because they belonged to a tribe. In a world where predators lurked in the shadows and food was scarce, exile meant death. So, over thousands of years, our brains evolved to prioritize approval. The logic was simple. Stay in the tribe, stay alive, get rejected, face the wolves alone. And while the world has changed, our biology hasn't. Even today, when you sense someone's disapproval, whether it's a snarky comment, a disapproving look, or a passive-aggressive remark, your nervous system reacts as if your survival is at stake. Your heart rate spikes, your palms sweat. You feel a deep instinctual need to fix the situation, to regain acceptance. But here's the key realization. What was once a life-saving instinct is now a prison. Because today, rejection isn't fatal. Your neighbor's opinion won't kill you. Your coworker's judgment won't starve you. A stranger's disapproval on social media won't change a single thing about your real life. And yet, most people live as if it will. They let fear of judgment dictate their choices. They hold themselves back from what they truly want. They tiptoe through life, desperate to avoid disapproval. All because of a program that no longer serves them. But once you see the program for what it is, you can break it. There's a harsh truth that most people don't want to face. No matter what you do, someone will disapprove. You could be the kindest, most generous, most respectable person in the world, and there will still be someone, somewhere, who finds a reason to criticize you. The way you look, the way you talk, the way you live your life. Because the truth is, people don't see you as you are. They see you through the lens of their own insecurities, biases, and projections. Their judgment isn't about you. It never was. It's about them. And once you truly grasp this, something shifts. You stop bending yourself to fit into molds you were never meant to fit into. You stop seeking validation from people who don't even know what they want from their own lives. You stop carrying the weight of opinions that were never yours to begin with. And suddenly, you're free. Most people never stop to ask, what does it actually cost me to care this much? Because this weight, the need for approval, the fear of judgment, isn't just an emotional burden. It affects everything. Your career. You hesitate to take risks, speak up, or pursue what you truly want. Because what if people think you're foolish? Your relationships. You stay in friendships, romantic entanglements, and social circles that don't serve you. Because what if they think you've changed? Your confidence. You second-guess yourself, hold back your opinions, and censor your own voice. Because what if someone disagrees? Your happiness. You deny yourself experiences, dreams, and even simple pleasures. Because what if others don't approve? But here's the kicker. No matter how much you try to please people, no matter how much you shrink yourself to avoid criticism, you'll never win. Why? Because there is no universal rulebook for approval. One person will love you for being bold. Another will call you arrogant. One will admire your ambition. Another will say you're too obsessed with success. One will praise your choices. Another will whisper about them behind your back. And if you live your life trying to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, including yourself. That's the real cost. It's not just about discomfort or insecurity. It's about waking up years from now, looking back, and realizing, I lived my entire life for them, and I never truly lived for myself. Unless you change something now. So, how do you actually stop caring what people think? How do you break free from a lifetime of conditioning? It comes down to 3 fundamental mindset shifts. 1. Shift from, what will they think, to, who do I want to be? Instead of making choices based on others' expectations, start making choices based on who you want to become. Ask yourself, if no one's opinion mattered, what decision would I make? What kind of life would I design if I weren't afraid of judgment? Am I living a life that feels true to me, or one designed to impress others? Every time you feel the weight of others' opinions creeping in, remind yourself, it's my life, my path, my rules. No one else is responsible for the outcome but you. 2. Accept that judgment is inevitable and irrelevant. Most people live in fear of disapproval. But what if you flip the script? What if, instead of avoiding judgment, you embraced it? Have the courage to be disliked. Because here's the truth. If people are judging you, it means you're doing something different. If they're criticizing, it means you've made them uncomfortable. If they're talking, it means you're living boldly enough to be noticed. And that's a good thing. Because the alternative is blending into the background, being forgettable. Living a small, quiet life where you never rock the boat. That's not freedom. That's self-imposed imprisonment. Once you understand that judgment will happen no matter what, you stop fearing it. You stop watering yourself down. You stop apologizing for your choices. You stop asking for permission to be who you are. And that's when you start to feel light. 3. Start living with a zero approval needed policy. Want a shortcut to this mindset? Try this. Every morning, ask yourself one question. What would I do today if I needed zero approval from anyone? Then, do it. Even if it's small. Even if it feels uncomfortable. Because the only way to reprogram yourself is through action. Wear the outfit you want, not the one you think is acceptable. Say what you mean, not what you think they want to hear. Make the choice that excites you, not the one that will look good to others. At first, it'll feel scary. But then, something magical happens. You realize you didn't die. You didn't get exiled from the tribe. The world didn't collapse. And in that moment, you take back something priceless. Your own power. One day, something shifts. Maybe it happens gradually. Maybe it happens all at once. But you wake up. and realize you feel different. You feel lighter. You're no longer overanalyzing every word before you say it. You're no longer holding back from doing what excites you. You're no longer anxiously scanning the room, wondering if people approve. Because, for the first time in your life, you don't need them to. That's the moment you realize. You don't need permission to be yourself. You don't need validation to make your own choices. You don't need to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. And when you stop needing these things, you become untouchable. Not in a way that makes you cold or indifferent, but in a way that makes you free, unapologetic, unshaken, fully alive. The weight you carried for years, the fear of judgment, the need for approval, is gone. And in its place, a new kind of confidence. A quiet, unshakable certainty. The kind that can't be given to you by others. Because it comes from within. When you stop caring about what others think, something incredible happens. You speak up without hesitation. You take risks you once avoided. You attract people who love you for who you actually are, not the version of you that was edited for approval. You gain power over your own life in a way you never thought possible. Because for the first time, you're making choices for you. Not to impress. Not to conform. Not to avoid criticism. But because it's what you truly want. That's real freedom. And the best part? It was always available to you. The only thing standing in the way was an illusion. One that was never real to begin with. Now, you see through it. Now, you know the truth. And now, you get to live. If you've read this far, something inside you knows. It's time. Time to drop the weight. Time to live on your own terms. Time to stop waiting for the world's permission. Because here's the reality. No one is going to give you permission to be yourself. You have to take it. And once you do, you'll never look back. Until next time. Anton Dancer. Writer. Buddhist. Permission to be Powerful is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber.